We've got Anna Soubry, the Conservative MP, to step into the breach for us, because in the space of 3 days, Theresa May has gone from the unquestionable figurehead of the Conservative Party, set for 5 years of steady rule, to a lonely Prime Minister, isolated in number 10, just about kept afloat by an angry party. And perhaps there are a few angrier within that party than Anna Soubry, who joins us now from Nottingham. Hello, thank you for being with us. Anna Soubry,
Hi, I don't think I'm angry, actually.
How are you feeling then? Describe your feelings to us.
No, I think, obviously, when those results came in on Friday, there was a sense of real concern and a bit of anger there, because some very good colleagues had gone, and it just seemed such a terrible, terrible shame. We are where we are, and now we've got to have some stability in our government, and people have got to get behind the government. And Theresa's got to broaden her base, and she's got to listen to people, and especially she's got to listen to business and all parts of our country and all parts of our party as well.
Some other people she may have to listen to are the DUP, if they are going to effectively prop up the Conservatives and give them that magic number needed to get a majority. How do you feel about the idea of the Conservative Party going into an agreement with another party who are against abortion and against same-sex marriage?
I missed the last bit of your question, but I get your drift, Sophie. Look, let me make it very clear. I have friends in the DUP. I get on well with them. I don't agree with their policies on abortion or gay rights at all. In fact, I absolutely detest those policies. But I think we can come together for the national good, looking especially at the economy. There's nothing wrong with doing that, because at the end of the day, the national interest must be the primary interest. And we need now to consider all those things. We need to put stability, especially as we enter these Brexit negotiations. And if the DUP are prepared to vote for a Queen's speech that is a sensible Queen's speech and a good budget, I don't have a difficulty with that. I don't have to sign up to all their other stuff, which I don't agree with at all.
Even with the DUP, Theresa May only will have a handful of MPs, a couple of MPs, as a majority. All it will take, for example, is you and Ken Clarke to go out for lunch together, and suddenly she's going to have to, make different compromises on Brexit to get it through the Houses of Commons. Do you think she's got a majority for leaving the single market in the House of Commons now?
I'm so sorry, but you just cut out.
I was saying, do you think Theresa May has a majority in Parliament for leaving the single market?
I don't think she does have a majority in the House of Commons for leaving the single market. But actually what's more important, I don't think people out here in the real world actually want the hard Brexit that had been put forward. And I don't think they like this no deal is better than a bad deal. People want a good deal. And that may include membership of the single market. It certainly will include membership of the customs union. And of course this will solve so many of the problems, notably actually in Northern Ireland. You see, membership of the single market, membership of the customs union actually solves those really serious problems over the border. And it's what British business wants as well. They do not want this hard Brexit. And you see, if Theresa starts to listen to people, and if she starts to work with people and embrace people then I believe we can get the Brexit deal that is in the interests of everybody in our country, and especially that younger generation that I think have voted in this election and made their own views very clear.
Now, you've had a couple of days to reflect on it. Just how bad were those election results for your party, and do you think Theresa May can realistically carry on?
No, I think her position is, in the long term, untenable. And it's with regret. I was one of the first people to come out and support Theresa. But the election result, where she put her name on the campaign, means that I just can't see how she can continue in any long term way. I think she will have to go, unfortunately. But not for some time. Let's get this clear. We need stability. We need to put that sense of of the economy and our country and the nation's interests absolutely at the forefront. None of this messing about behind the scenes. She's got to open up, as I say, be more consensual in the way that she operates, listen to people like Philip Hammond and Greg Clark, who represent business so well in the cabinet. And if she does those things, then she can lay down the way for her to leave, and then we will have a new Prime Minister. Now, actually, the last thing we want, though, is a general election. I think the British people would be appalled at that prospect. And indeed, can I make it very clear, I'm not for one moment saying that we are going back on the EU referendum result. My sense, certainly in my constituency, which voted 48-49% to remain in the EU, people have accepted the result, like I have, and they now want us to get a good Brexit deal. They accept we're leaving the EU. That's not a hard Brexit. They've rejected that.
So you say that Theresa May will have to go at some stage. Who do you think could potentially step in? I mean, there's a lot of talk about Boris Johnson in the papers today.
I'm absolutely not answering that question. I'm not playing that game of speculation. I know it's great fun for the commentators, and of course you're right to ask the question, but I'm afraid I'm not playing that game at all. I'm afraid that the situation we are in is far more serious than us all having a bit of fun about whether it's this candidate or that candidate. At the moment it's Theresa May. We need to get that stability in. We need to do the right thing for our country.
How disappointing, but I perhaps was not totally surprised by the answer you just gave. You say you don't want an election, and I can see why you don't want an election, because you just lost your majority last time round. What's going wrong with the Conservative Party, and how does the party need to change in order to win?
I mean, it's hugely complicated what's happened. Remember, I mean, in my constituency where, yes, my majority went down, and I'm no different from many people actually who lost their seats. I actually put on votes, and we know that we got more votes in the bag, that we didn't win the seats. And of course, we set out to win a large number of Labour seats, to persuade people who voted Labour before to vote Conservative. And what happened, and this is a dreadful thing to have to say, but it's true, those people were sitting on the edge, if you like. They were prepared to vote Conservative, but they needed a reason to vote Conservative. The choice needed to be well crafted for them, and they then need to take that step and actually vote Conservative. They needed, if you like, a carrot, something to persuade them that our great public services would be enhanced under a Conservative government. Our economy would be strong and safe. And of course, there'd be real hope and future for young people. We didn't do those things. And actually what we did was we offered up a load of sticks. And we actually started to beat people with those sticks. And rather than them actually voting Conservative, staying at home, they went back and they voted Labour. And young people in particular
cut you off there.
Voted Labour.
Thank you very much, Anna Soubry, for your thoughts.